Listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal is the single most important distinction between those who build generational wealth and those who spend their entire lives trading time for money. The ultra-wealthy don't manage their money. They don't micromanage their investments. They don't spend hours analyzing stock charts or obsessing over market movements. Instead, they do something radically different, something most people never discover. They design systems, automated systems that compound wealth, eliminate busy work, and scale without requiring their constant attention. While everyone else is grinding, checking portfolios, and drowning in operational tasks, the wealthy have built machines that run on autopilot, and by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand exactly how they do it, and more importantly, how you can replicate their playbook starting today. Before we go further, let me be direct with you. This is a brand new channel, and we're building something special here, a community of serious wealth builders who refuse to settle for average advice. We're aiming for our first 100 subscribers, people who understand that financial freedom isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. So if you're ready to learn strategies that actually move the needle, hit that subscribe button right now. We're also going for 50 likes on this video, 50 people who are committed to mastering the automation advantage. And here's what I want from you. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I want to know how far this message reaches. Are you in New York, London, Singapore, Tokyo? Let me know, because we're building a global movement of people who refuse to stay stuck in the cycle of trading time for money. Now let's get into it. The fundamental philosophy that separates the wealthy from everyone else is deceptively simple. They build systems, not to-do lists. They design machines, not management processes. Ray Dalio, the man who built Bridgewater Associates into the largest hedge fund on the planet, with over $160 billion under management, doesn't describe his success as picking great investments or working longer hours. He describes it as designing a machine. In his own words, he says success is about creating a system where the right people do the right things to produce specific outcomes. You're not the operator, you're the architect. You design the machine, then you let it run. Dalio took this philosophy so seriously that he created something called the Principles Operating System, PRI-OS. This isn't just software, it's an algorithmic decision-making framework that learns from employee performance data, analyzes outcomes, and continuously improves management decisions without Dalio needing to be in the room. Think about that. He automated decision-making itself. The system learns which decisions led to winning outcomes and replicates them automatically. Dalio's explicit vision is that over time, his principles evolve from Ray's principles to our principles, and eventually, Ray fades out of the picture entirely. That's the endgame. Build a system so robust that you become optional to its operation. This isn't some abstract theory. This is how the ultra-wealthy actually operate, and it manifests across three critical domains: automated investing, automated productivity systems, and automated business operations. When these three systems work together, you create a compound effect where wealth grows, businesses scale, and your time investment doesn't increase proportionally. That's leverage. That's freedom. That's the automation advantage. Let's start with the foundation: automated investing. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor of all time, made a famous bet in 2008. He wagered that a simple, automated S&P 500 index fund would outperform actively managed hedge funds over a 10-year period. And he didn't just win, he crushed it. The index fund delivered 85% returns, while the hedge funds managed only 22%. Why? Because automation eliminates two of the biggest wealth destroyers: human emotion and excessive fees. The wealthy understand something counterintuitive. Even if you're brilliant at picking stocks, even if you're Warren Buffett himself, automation often beats active management because it removes psychology from the equation. Here's the fascinating part. Buffett's personal portfolio demonstrates this philosophy in action. His largest holding is Apple, currently valued at over $69 billion. That's not a position he's trading in and out of. It's a set-it-and-forget-it investment that compounds year after year without requiring daily attention. He's not checking stock prices. He's not rebalancing weekly. He's focusing on high-level capital allocation decisions while his wealth compounds automatically. That's the model. Strategic decisions at the top, automation handling execution. Now, one of the most underutilized automation strategies is something called a dividend reinvestment plan, or DRIP. This is financial engineering at its simplest and most powerful. Here's how it works. Every time a company pays you a dividend, instead of that, cash hitting your account where you might spend it or let it sit idle, the system automatically purchases additional shares of that same stock. No human intervention required. No commission fees, no decision fatigue. Just pure automatic compounding. The mathematics are compelling. If you're earning a 3% dividend yield and you automate reinvestment, that can enhance your total returns by approximately 13% over 20 years. That's not speculation. That's compound interest doing what it does best, turning small, consistent actions into massive results over time. I'll give you a real example. One wealth builder used automated DREPs, combined with dynamic rebalancing through platforms like M1 Finance to construct a $1 million dividend portfolio. He set up automatic weekly transfers, enabled dividend reinvestment, and let the system rebalance his allocations automatically without triggering taxable events. The result? A wealth-building machine that required setup time up front, but virtually zero ongoing attention. Here's the principle. Once an automated system is properly designed, it requires oversight only during market crises, not daily management. That's the dividing line. Are you managing your money, or is your money managing itself? Beyond individual strategies, the wealthy are increasingly using robo-advisors and algorithmic portfolio management systems. PricewaterhouseCoopers projects that AI-powered robo-advisors could manage nearly $6 trillion in assets by 2027, up from $3 trillion in 2022. Why the explosive growth? Because these systems eliminate fundamental human weaknesses. They remove emotional decision-making during market volatility. They prevent timing mistakes from trying to pick market tops and bottoms. They eliminate procrastination in rebalancing portfolios. And they solve analysis paralysis from information overload. For the wealthy, these automated systems serve as the financial foundation. Steady, consistent, completely hands-off. Yes, some wealthy individuals make direct investments that require active management, venture capital, private equity, real estate development. But their core wealth, the base that generates financial security, typically flows through automated systems that compound reliably over decades without emotional interference. There's an innovative tool that demonstrates how automation is democratizing wealthy strategies. It's called Autopilot, an investment app that automatically executes trades based on public disclosures from ultra-wealthy investors like Warren Buffett, Nancy Pelosi, and Jim Simons. Here's how it works. You link your brokerage account, select which portfolios you want to mirror, and the app automatically replicates their trades on your behalf. One early user reported a 33% gain by following Jim Simons' algorithmic trading strategy with minimal personal effort. Now, execution speed matters, and there are legitimate criticisms of the tool. But the concept itself reveals a critical truth. The wealthy design systems that work, and now, technology allows anyone to automate the execution of those proven systems. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think wealth automation is just about investing. It's not. The second pillar is eliminating repetitive work through artificial intelligence and automation tools. This is where your time gets liberated. This is where you stop being a slave to your inbox and your calendar. Tim Ferriss, who built multiple businesses and wrote extensively about lifestyle design, established a framework that the wealthy follow religiously. It's a hierarchy. Eliminate first, automate second, delegate last. Most people reverse this sequence. They try to delegate everything, hoping to automate what remains. The wealthy do the opposite. They eliminate ruthlessly first, then automate only what's actually essential, and finally delegate tasks that require human judgment, but not their personal attention. Ferriss emphasizes a Bill Gates insight that's absolutely critical. Automation applied to an efficient operation magnifies efficiency. But automation applied to an inefficient operation magnifies inefficiency. This means you cannot automate your way out of a broken process. The wealthy audit their workflows first, strip them down to essential components, eliminate wasteful steps, and only then apply automation to the refined system. If you automate chaos, you get faster chaos. Elon Musk, who simultaneously leads Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and The Boring Company, companies collectively worth hundreds of billions, manages this impossible workload through ruthless automation and systematic delegation. His approach includes several non-negotiable principles. First, 5-minute time blocking. Every single task receives a defined time slot with zero room for task switching. Research from the University of Michigan demonstrates that multitasking reduces cognitive efficiency by 40%. Musk eliminates multitasking entirely, recapturing mental bandwidth for high-level strategic thinking. Second, asynchronous communication. Musk prefers email and written communication over meetings because it allows deep work to continue uninterrupted. Real-time communication fragments attention and destroys productivity. His companies use tools that minimize synchronous demands, the exact opposite of most corporate cultures, where meetings consume entire workdays. Third, automated systems over meetings. Musk famously minimizes meetings, allowing his teams to operate through automated systems and direct communication channels. Every meeting that's eliminated preserves hours of deep work time for people focused on leverage-based activities. And fourth, delegate everything that isn't strategy. Musk's principle is brutally simple. He focuses exclusively on tasks that move his companies forward strategically. Everything else, including many traditional management functions, gets delegated or systematized. If you're watching this and thinking about taking your wealth building seriously, understand this. The strategies I'm sharing aren't theoretical. These are the exact systems the ultra-wealthy use every single day. And if you want to continue learning these insider strategies, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. We're just getting started. And the content coming next week goes even deeper into strategies the 1% don't want you to know. Hit that subscribe button, and if you're getting value from this, smash that like button. We're aiming for 50 likes on this video from people who are serious about financial freedom. Now let's talk about the specific tools the wealthy use to eliminate cognitive load. Modern wealthy entrepreneurs and executives deploy artificial intelligence as universal assistants. Tools like ChatGPT and Claude AI handle content creation, email drafting, research summaries, and strategic brainstorming. These AI systems effectively replace junior staff positions, reducing overhead while dramatically improving speed and output quality. Platforms like Zapier connect hundreds of applications to eliminate manual data entry, form population, and task transfers between systems. A study from the Business Legacy shows that businesses using AI productivity tools reduce time spent on administrative tasks by 60%. 60%. That's not marginal improvement, that's structural transformation. Scheduling tools like Motion and Clockwise automatically prioritize tasks and create optimized schedules that protect deep work time. These systems analyze your calendar data, meeting patterns, and task urgency to structure your days for maximum leverage. They're not just calendars, they're strategic time architects. Notion AI combines note-taking, project management, and AI writing assistance into a single platform, allowing entrepreneurs to capture thoughts, analyze ideas, and generate strategic documents without switching between multiple tools. The friction of tool switching destroys focus. Consolidation preserves it. Real-world impact. Entrepreneurs consistently report saving 25+ hours per week by implementing these systems systematically. One entrepreneur I studied reduced his lead generation workload by hiring 2 virtual assistants who run fully automated systems. The result? More leads generated while he personally spends significantly less time managing that operational area. That's the leverage multiplier in action. Mark Zuckerberg operates Meta through an unusual organizational structure he calls a core army, 25 to 30 hand-picked leaders who manage most decisions autonomously, with Zuckerberg engaging directly only on strategic inflection points. This flattens hierarchy and removes layers of communication that typically plague large organizations. But here's where it gets interesting. Meta is aggressively automating software engineering work through artificial intelligence. Zuckerberg has publicly stated that Meta will automate mid-level software engineer tasks in 2025, with a long-term vision where AI handles all coding tasks for Meta's applications. Now, this has controversial employment implications, but it demonstrates a critical principle. The wealthy use automation to eliminate entire job categories, permanently removing the need for human attention on routine work. But here's the trap most people fall into, and this is critical. 88% of business automation initiatives fail to meet their objectives. 88%. Why? Because companies automate broken processes instead of fixing them first. They see automation as a magic bullet that will solve systemic problems. It doesn't work that way. The wealthy avoid this failure through a simple but disciplined sequence. Step 1. Fix the process. Strip away unnecessary steps, standardize data inputs, eliminate inefficiencies. Step 2. Test thoroughly. Verify that the optimized process works reliably in its manual form before you automate anything. Step 3. Automate the refined process. Only after you've proven the process works do you implement automation to scale that efficiency. Automating a broken system simply scales the inefficiency faster. You go from slow chaos to fast chaos. The wealthy obsess over process design before making automation investments. Amazon's warehouse automation strategy perfectly illustrates this. The company doesn't randomly deploy robots and hope for improvement. Amazon systematically redesigns workflows to be automation-ready first, then deploys robotic systems into those optimized processes. The result: facilities that operate 25% more efficiently with half the workforce compared to traditional warehouse designs. That's not luck. That's engineered leverage. Let me give you some real-world case studies of how the wealthy actually implement these systems, because theory without application is worthless. Ray Dalio took automation further than almost anyone. His Principles operating system doesn't just automate tasks. It automates decision-making itself by encoding his entire management philosophy into algorithms. Employees rate each other's performance. They alert managers to dissatisfaction. They provide continuous data that feeds into the management algorithm. The system learns which decisions led to positive outcomes and automatically replicates those decision patterns. Over time, the algorithm improves decision quality without Dalio's personal involvement. He explicitly designed this with one goal: complete automation of decisions that previously required his genius-level judgment. His endgame is to fade out of the picture entirely, while the system continues producing world-class results. This philosophy extends beyond management into Dalio's investment approach. Bridgewater's investment decisions incorporate algorithmic systems that learn from market outcomes and improve continuously. The result: Bridgewater became the world's largest hedge fund, with returns that consistently beat active managers, partly because algorithms executing consistent principles outperform emotion-driven human decision-making, especially during market volatility when fear and greed dominate. Steve Jobs approached automation differently, through ruthless elimination and centralized systems requiring minimal human involvement. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was weeks from bankruptcy. His first move? He immediately eliminated the vast majority of products in development. He cut the product line from dozens of initiatives down to 4 core products. This wasn't just cost-cutting. It was strategic elimination that freed engineering resources and organizational focus. For the remaining products, Jobs centralized decision-making and built organizational structures that automatically channeled work toward his strategic vision. Rather than managing through endless meetings and consensus building, he designed systems where teams could only proceed on specific tracks aligned with his objectives. This was automation through organizational structure. Once the system was designed, clear product vision, defined hierarchies, automated quality checkpoints, it produced extraordinary results without Jobs needing daily involvement, except at critical inflection points. Jeff Bezos built Amazon's empire through aggressive automation at a scale that dwarfs most companies. Amazon's strategy involves two distinct automation types. First, operational automation. Warehouse robots reduce workforce needs by 25 to 50% compared to traditional facilities, while simultaneously handling higher order volumes. The company deploys robots for most fulfillment tasks, while humans focus exclusively on exceptions and complex problem-solving. Second, decision automation. Amazon uses AI systems to predict optimal storage locations for millions of items, reducing shipping costs and improving delivery speed. These systems make millions of micro-decisions automatically every single day, decisions that previously required human planning and analysis. The outcome is powerful. Amazon processes vastly more items annually with proportionally lower headcount growth than sales growth. That's pure automation advantage, translating directly into profit margins. And Warren Buffett's wealth-building automation centers on two core principles. First, simplified portfolio structure. Rather than managing dozens of actively traded positions, Buffett's portfolio concentrates on a small number of core holdings that require minimal management attention. Second, passive baseline with strategic tilts. The bulk of his wealth compounds through index funds and automatic dividend reinvestment, while Buffett makes infrequent but massive capital allocation decisions, acquiring entire companies or making major sector shifts. This hybrid approach separates strategic decisions, which require Buffett's genius-level judgment, from tactical execution, which happens automatically. The system runs 99% of the time without his personal involvement. He's not checking stock prices. He's not rebalancing portfolios. He's thinking about capital allocation at the highest level, while automation handles everything else. Now, I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, where are you right now on this automation spectrum? Are you manually managing everything, drowning in operational tasks, constantly firefighting, or have you started building systems that work without you? Drop a comment right now and tell me your biggest challenge when it comes to automation. What's the one area of your life or business that's consuming the most time but producing the least results? I read every single comment, and I want to understand where you're stuck, so I can create content that actually solves your specific problems. Let's get tactical. How do you actually implement this automation system in your own life? Here's the exact playbook. Step 1. Audit everything you do. Spend one full week capturing every single activity, every meeting, every email, every task, every interruption. Record the time spent and honestly assess whether that activity directly contributes to your top 3 goals. Most people discover that less than 20% of their time generates meaningful results. Everything else is busy work disguised as productivity. Meetings about meetings, status updates, administrative overhead, and constant interruption management. The wealthy identify this waste first. They ask one brutal question about every activity. Does this directly move me toward my goal? If the answer is no, it gets eliminated. Period. Step 2. Eliminate ruthlessly before you automate anything. Review your audit and eliminate everything that doesn't move you toward your goals. Everything that could be someone else's responsibility. Everything that exists due to historical habit rather than current necessity. And everything that generates busy work disguised as productivity. This elimination phase typically frees 15 to 25% of your time with zero automation investment. Tim Ferriss calls this the most powerful productivity tool available, simply removing things from existence rather than trying to do them more efficiently. Step 3. Identify remaining repetitive tasks. What's left after elimination? Focus specifically on tasks that repeat weekly or more frequently, follow consistent patterns, don't require creative judgment, and would otherwise consume hours every month. These are your automation candidates. Step 4. Test and design before automating. Before you deploy any automation tools, document the current process completely. Optimize it manually first. Remove extra steps. Standardize inputs. Reduce decision points. Only after the process works perfectly in its manual form should you automate it. Otherwise, you're just automating inefficiency and creating technical debt that will haunt you later. Step 5. Implement systematic automation in this specific sequence. First, financial automation. This is your foundation. Set up automatic investment contributions weekly or monthly. Enable dividend reinvestment plans. Activate automatic rebalancing if you're using Robo advisors. Schedule automatic bill payments. This creates passive wealth compounding immediately with zero ongoing attention required. Second, operational automation. Use Zapier to connect applications and eliminate manual data transfer. Deploy chatbots for routine customer inquiries. Implement email filters and auto-responses for predictable communications. Schedule social media posts and content distribution in advance. Third, decision automation. Use AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude for research, summarization, and writing tasks. Deploy motion or scheduling apps to optimize your calendar automatically. Implement project management systems that route work automatically based on predefined rules. Fourth, delegation automation. Create standard operating procedures for any tasks you're delegating to others. Use project management platforms to track delegation status without requiring constant check-ins. Implement automation to route exceptions to the right person based on issue type. Step 6. Focus exclusively on leverage-based activities. Once automation handles routine work, ruthlessly protect your time for activities that actually move the needle. Strategic decisions that impact outcomes, relationship building with key stakeholders, creative problem-solving on critical challenges, capital allocation decisions, hiring and developing your best people. The wealthy protect this time fanatically. Elon Musk schedules his entire day in 5-minute blocks, specifically to prevent his time from being consumed by other people's urgencies. Bill Gates divides his calendar into 4 distinct buckets and maintains 25% of his time in each category, protecting deep work time from meeting overload. They understand that leverage activities are where wealth gets created. Everything else is maintenance. Step 7. Automate your investing. This is non-negotiable. Whether you're building wealth from scratch or scaling existing assets, you must automate investment execution. For beginners, use robo-advisors like Betterment, Wealthfront, or M1 Finance that automatically allocate funds across diversified portfolios based on your risk tolerance. Most charge 0.25 to 0.5% annually, compared to 1 to 2% for traditional human advisors. That fee difference compounds dramatically over decades. For existing investors, set up automatic monthly contributions to your portfolio. Enable dividend reinvestment on all holdings. Use rebalancing automation to maintain your target asset allocation without manual intervention. For advanced investors, consider a hybrid approach. 80% of your portfolio in automated index investing to capture market returns reliably, with 20% in selective active positions in areas where you have genuine expertise or edge. This hybrid gets you the benefits of passive automation with selective opportunity for alpha generation. Now here's what most people don't understand about automation. The power isn't immediate, it's exponential. In year 1, automation might save you 10 to 15 hours weekly, freeing time for slightly more strategic work. Your passive investments compound at historical market rates of 8 to 10% annually. That's good, but not transformative yet. By year 3, the freed time compounds into significantly improved strategic decisions. Those better decisions improve business performance by 20 to 30%, which increases the capital available for investment. Your automated systems handle growing volume without requiring proportional increases in your effort. By years 5 through 10, the compound effect accelerates dramatically. Systems that worked at small scale become force multipliers at larger scale. Strategic decisions made from protected deep work time generate outsized returns. Investment compounding starts exceeding income from your primary work. You're approaching a tipping point. By year 20 and beyond, the system becomes self-sustaining. Passive wealth generation exceeds income requirements from active work. The founder becomes optional to the operation because systems run automatically. This is why Ray Dalio explicitly designed systems where he could fade out of the picture entirely. This is why Warren Buffett's wealth compounds whether he's working or not. Success requires creating something that doesn't need you. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. There's an investor most people have never heard of named Ronald Reed. He was a janitor and gas station attendant in Vermont. He never earned more than modest wages his entire working life. When he died in 2014 at age 92, his estate was worth $8 million. $8 million. How? He automated 3 simple behaviors. He lived below his means, he invested consistently in dividend-paying stocks, and he enabled automatic dividend reinvestment. For decades, his system compounded, without requiring sophisticated analysis or constant attention. He simply designed a machine and let it run. Compare that to countless high-income professionals, doctors, lawyers, executives earning $300,000 to $500,000 annually, who retire with minimal savings because they never automated wealth building. They made more money, but they didn't build systems. Income without automation is just a fancy treadmill. Here's the fundamental truth that separates wealth builders from everyone else. The wealthy don't manage money. They design systems that manage money automatically. They don't manage time. They eliminate time wasters and automate routines so only leverage activities remain. They don't manage people. They build organizational structures and automated decision systems that channel work toward objectives without requiring constant oversight. The gap between wealth builders and everyone else isn't intelligence. It's not luck. It's not even starting capital in most cases. It's the willingness to spend upfront time designing systems that eliminate the need for ongoing time investment. Every dollar automatically reinvested compounds without your attention. Every task automated frees hours for strategic decisions. Every decision systematized scales without human involvement. The wealthy understand a truth most people never discover. The best investment isn't in more activity. It's in less activity that's automated, scaled, and systematically compounded over decades. They don't work harder than you. They work smarter by building machines that work for them while they sleep. So here's my challenge to you. Right now, today, take 1 hour and conduct a brutal audit of where your time actually goes. Write down every major activity from the past week. Then ask yourself, which of these activities directly builds wealth, which could be eliminated entirely, which could be automated, and which require your personal genius. Most people avoid this exercise because they're terrified of what they'll discover, that most of their activity is just motion disguised as progress. But the wealthy embrace this reality. They eliminate ruthlessly. They automate systematically. They focus exclusively on leverage. Before we close, I want to remind you, this channel is brand new, and we're building something powerful here. We're creating a community of people who refuse to accept conventional financial advice, who understand that freedom comes from systems, not hustle. We're pushing toward 100 subscribers, 100 people committed to mastering the automation advantage. If this content resonates with you, if you're serious about building wealth that compounds automatically, hit that subscribe button right now. And we're going for 50 likes on this video from viewers who understand that this information is worth far more than any course you'd pay thousands for. Tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? I genuinely want to know how far this message reaches. Are you in the United States, Europe, Asia, South America? Drop your location in the comments. And while you're there, tell me your biggest automation challenge. What's consuming your time but producing minimal results? I read every comment, and your feedback directly shapes the content I create. Here's the reality. Most people will watch this video, think it's interesting, and change nothing. They'll go back to manually managing their finances, drowning in operational tasks, and wondering why wealth always seems just out of reach. But a small percentage, maybe 5%, will actually implement these systems. They'll automate their investing this week. They'll audit their time and eliminate ruthlessly. They'll build systems instead of working harder. Those 5% will look back in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and recognize this as the inflection point. The moment they stopped trading time for money and started building machines that compound wealth automatically. The choice is yours. You can keep grinding, managing everything manually, hoping that hard work alone will be enough. Or you can do what the wealthy do. Design systems that work while you sleep. Eliminate activities that don't build wealth, and focus exclusively on leverage-based decisions that actually move the needle. The wealthy don't have some secret advantage you lack. They simply understand that automation, systematization, and elimination are more powerful than effort alone. They build machines. You can too. Start today. Automate one thing this week, then another next week, then another. Before you know it, you'll have built a wealth system that compounds without your constant attention. That's freedom. That's leverage. That's the automation advantage. And that's exactly what we'll continue exploring on this channel. Subscribe now, like this video. Comment your location and your biggest challenge. Let's build wealth systems together. I'm William Vanderbilt, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.